U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson writes that her grandmother said God whispered to the older woman that she, Ketanji, her first grandchild, was a blessed child. In reading her new memoir, I kind of think her grandmother was onto something. I'm one third of the way through Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's memoir, Lovely One, published a few weeks ago by Random House. It's an interesting and educational look into the life of the first African American woman to grace the nation's highest court in its 234-year history. When I read books, I like to take the covers off to preserve the covers. And as you can see, I also like to highlight and post notes in my reading. There was a lot in this book. Very good information. There was a lot in here. After she was sworn into the nation's highest court, Justice Ketanji said she was approached by several writers asking to write her biography. She declined their offers, opting instead to write her own memoir, something I'm very glad she did. I feel as if she interjected a much more personable element to her story, adding dimension and depth and admiration and respect to the parents, grandparents, and extended village who helped inspire her to be the person she is today. I love the way she authentically juxtaposed their life stories against the backdrop of U.S. society, how they were challenged and thriving in their world, with her grandparents in the segregated South and with what was going on in the real world at the time. The Black Codes, Jim Crow, segregated schools and transportation systems, the Green Book, the Civil Rights era, and other facts of life for so many African Americans in the U.S. of A. Through it all, they persevered, much as they taught her to always persevere. She writes, "From the moment I became conscious of myself, I aspired to be as purposeful as my parents. Johnny and Ellery Brown were salt of the earth people whose core values I would quickly come to understand were hard work, a belief in the vastness of individual potential, and fierce pride in the journey and legacy of Black Americans." So let me get back to my book, Lovely One, The American Meaning of the Justice's First and Middle African Names, Ketanji Onika. Pearls, I hope we catch up during my follow-up Lovely One discussion or the sorority discussion later on this month. Be blessed and keep persevering.